Good morning, New Eden. Today is June 9th, 2024, and this is the Federation Frontline Report. I'm your host, Frozen Fallout, and my co-host today is Night Flyer. How's it going, Night Flyer?
Hi, good morning, everybody. It is going really great. This has been an amazing week in EVE Online, and the Glinte militia has been doing what we do, which is just killing.
Murdering and taking systems.
Murdering.
We were down to what, 3 systems? It was Old Man Star was the gateway to the war zone, and you basically could go Valor to if you lived in high sec, which you shouldn't. Don't ever do that. But it's like Valor is our high sec, then you go to Old Man Star, and then there's Hades, that's the enemy, and then like everything else and everything behind Old Man Star, like Lattisteer, is not super important. How goes it? Loving live, live, loving live, lovey live live. No, and so we've been kicking some ass though. We've took back all of the basically Running Man. So let me do something here. I'm gonna have to mess with how big we are. Let's see this video right here. If I shrink you down. So actually, I'm gonna just show you the Running Man. Basically, I think I'll go that big. And so, have you heard of this? Are you familiar with the Running Man?
So I see it now that you're showing it. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the head, and then you've got the shoulder here. This is your arm. This is your body. This is, the leg in the background, and this is the leg in the foreground. And so we've got almost all of Running Man back. Not only that, but also a little bit harder for me to show here. Not so bad, though. Let's see, what does that look like? It's not... No, we're going to go like this. We're going to make us even smaller. So we can just kind of show the war zone here.
Oh, no.
We're tiny. We'll come back and be bigger.
Sorry, no one wants to see me anyway. So.
Yeah. So the north is also under assault. Sedition isn't up there, but there is another group. I think, was it Frog Team 4? Do you know? I don't know. I can't remember the name necessarily of the person. Maybe it was Frog Team 4, or some group is up here pushing and. Been able to take, Rennerall, we've got Maklamad, Albanal, Frary, these are all underneath our control here. Alparena is really hard to keep, but
I don't think I've actually flown north of Onasikin in 6 months. I've 100% been in the south of this. I don't think I've gone north of Sorrento. I may have gone into Tama once or twice. I think you and I went on a fleet where we did the loop, so maybe I'll take that statement back. But we did the loop up to Tama and then down back through Onasikin. I think that's the farthest north I have gone. I haven't done any battles up in that area.
No, I've been able to just pretty much undock in Old Man Star. Or sorry, Hades, and either go to Old Man Star or just fight in Hades. Maybe Integral a little bit down over in the systems that we've been taking and stuff like that. But I've been pretty much just been able to find all the fights that I need to find in Hades these days.
Exactly, 100%. Between Hydalis, whatever it is, Hades, Follett, Devon, and Aboon. I mean, those 4 systems. I think if you even pull up my kill board, you're going to see that makes up 90% of all the fights I've been in, for sure. Easily. Because outside of battlefields and stuff, like you said, with the fights and content there, it makes 0 sense to even leave.
Yeah, it's been really nice. Really good solo content that I've had. There was a one day this week that I logged on. I wasn't actually streaming. And I can usually go out and get a fight within the first 15 minutes in a comet. I go out in a comet, go find a scout, sit in it for a little bit. Somebody comes in and tries to murder me, or somebody's already there. So I just fight them and kill them. And so I can find, content pretty quick. I don't know, I've seen like posts on Reddit and stuff like, I can't find any solo PvP, and I'm like,
You
I
aren't
mean,
looking.
yeah, you're not looking
Like,
in the
not
right
even,
spots.
you're not
They're
even
like, I
trying
came to
then.
Faction
Yeah.
Warfare, and I was like, where did you go in Faction Warfare that you couldn't find a solo fight? Like, um, I mean, there
Yeah.
are lots of places that you could do that, but it's not Hey Die Less. Like, and people are like, oh, well, there's always blobbers, and it's like, yeah, but you can avoid the blobbers really easy. You
Yeah.
just
D-scan. That's
descan,
what D-scan is
and
for.
and there might be some fighting that can happen that goes too long in a frig fight, but usually frig fights are over in like a minute. So in order for somebody to not be on D-scan, they have to be either in warp so that they can land right as like the fight begins, or most of the time they're off like in another system, and then there's a huge jump in, or they're at a station or something like that, so they have to warp or undock. um, and if you have to warp, land, activate acceleration gate, warp in again, land, and then get involved in the fight, usually a frig fight is over by that
Yeah.
time. So a lot of the times I trust that my frig fights are going to be, I check D-scan in the beginning, but after that I'm committed, so, there's nothing I can do but try to get the fuck out. As soon as the fight ends, you should D-scan again and be like, okay, is there anybody, am I safe enough to take some loot here? Because somebody could be coming in. But that's catching people who are hunters, catching people who just are thirsty for PvP is really easy if you just sit inside of a Plex. And that's one of the major reasons why I encourage people who are looking for PvP to join Faction Warfare. If you're looking for solo PvP, you have an objective. It's not the most thrilling activity, because it shouldn't be. Like, and when I'm sitting in a Plex, I don't want to have to worry about 15 fucking, ships shooting at me and like messing around with NPCs. I want to have an NPC pop up, kill it in under like 10 seconds, and then I just sit there and nothing for 15 minutes straight. I should only have to fight like 4 or 5 NPCs for a total like 50 seconds where I'm kind of a little bit distracted. The rest of the time I'm just waiting for a motherfucker to come on in. Like, come to me, man. I know exactly where you're gonna land. I can watch D-scan. I can see if anything's coming in. If nobody comes in, I get some LP. If somebody comes in, I get a fight. And one of the times, it was like Thursday or Friday, I undock, not streaming or anything, and just sat down. I'm literally like 3 minutes into the game, I warped to the scout in Hey Die Less, and I scan. There's a Kestrel, and I'm like, all right, like a little Kestrel, we'll play. I've been seeing these guys with rockets, dual web rockets and stuff, but um, I think that I might be able to outclass this guy. So I jump in, and I get into a fight with him. Immediately just pull off of him and just blow him apart. Like he lasts maybe like 25 seconds. So I was pretty, I was like, okay, that was cool, but it wasn't dangerous at all. So I'm like sitting there, and I go over to local. I'm like, good fight, and then and I'm like, who's next? And then immediately a hookbill comes in. And I'm like, okay, we can play now. Let's do this. And so I have a new fit where I do have a long point on instead of a scram on my scram kite comet, so I can fuck around with dual webbers a little bit better. And I just sat out, like warped or afterburnered into like around 17 kilometers, just pointed him up and just started pelting him, bringing him down, and everything's going really good. He can't catch me. Afterwards, I looked. He had a micro warp drive. I'm not sure what was going on in his brain that they weren't able to catch me. But I was able to like pin him down, hold him down, blow him apart. But he did end up getting at one point. No, he did get within range for a little bit, because I do remember being damaged after that. And so then I'm like, in local, I'm like, all right, let's do this. Like, come and get me, man. Like, I'm just sitting there, and then a firetail came in, and I got he was auto cannon, dual web, but he couldn't get close to me, so I just love that fucking comment. And I'm just like, 3 in a row, tic-tac-toe, motherfuckers. Like, and then another dude came in not too long after that, like 20 seconds. Dude, I was just like, I was high as hell, like, as being like, this, like, killing all these guys, like 3 guys in a row, 3 solo fights in a row, one right after another. All my shit's all burnt to hell. Everything's like, and I did end up burning out my afterburner during the firetail fight because I had been heating it so much. I was like, oh fuck, man, like this is gonna be bad. He's gonna get under my guns, and he ended up not getting under my guns well enough, and I just like fried him. So, but then when that last guy came in, I was just like, I can't, man. I'm too tired. I am like 80 kilometers off, so you'd have to come over to me anyways, because we've been slowly fighting off of the main button area. And he's like, no, totally understandable. I see all the wreckage that you've caused here so far. But yeah, I've been finding that a lot lately, where you just go out. I've been finding good fights with my Catalyst Navy issue, overprop dual web stram and blaster fit. Been having a lot of fun with the oversized afterburner, punch you in the face. Beautiful Comet or Catalyst Navy issue with those blasters. Just fucking wreck shit if you're right on top of them.
Oh, I was just looking it up. So, I was flying with Quinn, and up in Devon. We were deplexing that, and I was just looking for the kills. And I can't have it in here, but a couple cool stories. So, I think I learned just as much from watching other people screw up as I do screwing up myself. So, and I kind of like that. I'm picking that up a lot more. The more of the faction warfare stuff I'm doing with the ships and stuff. We had, because Quinn and I were, what did we do? We went into a plex, somebody that I think it was a hook bill, and then he ended up fucking off. But as soon as we got in, and I was in a blaster cormorant, I had scrapped up so much stuff that I literally built this thing with just the stuff I had looted off the field. And I wanted to try to play with that. Most of the time when I have a cormorant, I put, I make it the long bow, so it shoots out to like 110k. But I'm like, you know what, I'm going to try a blaster, because I can alpha at about 350, I think, with the blaster fit that I got. And so we were sitting in this plex in Devon, and 2 thrashers come in, and Quinn was in... Oh, wrong mouse. Sorry, I'm using my laptop too. Quinn was in something. Hold on, wait for it. Oh, I should have just hit the kill. He was in a Catalyst. Okay, that makes sense. So anyway, so they came in thrashers. Of course, they're already thrashers, but they don't try to get range from us.
Oh no!
They land and they sit on 0. Yeah, and we smoked them.
Yeah, that's just gonna get eaten alive. Already not good at 0.
No,
especially against blaster boats. We'll just fucking rip you apart.
So we had that, and then we had a Punisher come in, and it's not on the kill board. It's weird. We had 2 Tristans come in, and this I thought might actually be an interesting fight, because one of the Tristans I like to fly is a Newt Tristan. So it's all drones, and then you put Newts up in the top, and you just suck people dry and just blow them apart with this. So I'm like, oh well, if these are gonna be Newt fits, that's gonna be a problem. But they weren't. They were rail fit, so they weren't even blaster fit. They were rail fit, and again, didn't try to get range. They sat on 0 with us.
Why?
And I'm like, yeah. I said, I'm like almost 8k in shields. There's no way you're doing anything, So we end up just smoking them. And Quinn and I are like talking. We're like, what the hell was that all about? Like, I think it was a dual boxer. That was kind of what we came up with. It was probably a dual boxer that was trying to dual box the Tristans. But yeah, I'm looking on here, but I don't see them on Zkill, and I can't get into the game. Stupid. Ugh.
Yeah, newts are so huge. I think I got some.
But it's one of the things I'm
Oh,
trying to
yeah.
trying to find some new setups, fly some new stuff. I said I usually, so when I fly the Cormorant, I usually fly it. It's a longbow with the long range rails. So just trying to do some different setups, fly something different. Um, Creating some different stuff. I
Yeah,
had
I've got.
my blaster shield fit Vexor. That I actually love the ship, and it's great when people land on 0. And
Yeah, and with
fly,
flexes, you can force that a lot easier than
yeah,
anywhere else.
it's really nice. And I usually fly the especially when I'm doing short range like that, is you do the 2 ogres, um, so 2 heavies, 2 mediums, and a light. So you're using all your points there. But those ogres, God, they're slow. Like your grandma in a
Yeah,
walker and outrun
don't do
these.
ogres.
Oh,
You do berserkers if you're gonna do a
yeah,
heavy drone. One of the things is I like the you
but
know
when they do hit, they're awesome.
yeah
Once
they
they
are the
get to
heaviest of
you,
all hitters. They're thermal damage locked, but thermal is actually a decent damage type because it's okay against armor, but shields start weak with it. Not the weakest. EM then thermal is like their weakest usually, and then armor is thermal's an okay attribute against the Galente or the Keldari Tech 2 ships. It's not very good. Because you can get into absurd 90 plus percentile damage reduction with the Keldari and Galente Tech 2 ships. Specifically, I think the Galente get really crazy with it.
But we had a really great fight last night too. We had some Tuskers come in, and
Yeah, lots of good pirate activity in the war
yeah,
zone. It's been
Guinea Pigs Appreciation Society came. So they had a Vengeance, they had Ononeros, they had 2 Ishtars, and a Myrmidon Navy issue. So it started off, they were playing station games in Hades, and we ended up killing the Vengeance there, and someone I think undocked a Cyclone too.
nice.
I think
I've been
hit on
flying
that
around
one.
in Cyclone a little bit lately. Not the I mean Cyclone fleet issues sometimes, but I've been having a little bit of fun with just a regular Cyclone that's designed for brawl, like super brawl fit.
But they moved the fleet to Integral, and they ended up fighting on the Hadili Gate in Integral. So I was there with Kurik and Lyra and the gang. Yeah, that was a good fight, and I still had my blaster Vexor, so I jumped in and just stayed on the gate and unleashed the drones. And figured if anybody came within, 10K, they would get a nice blaster pop. But that was a really good fight. Once we got the Oneros down, which is a blinged out Oneros, he had a lot of faction mods and stuff on it, which we ended up scooping, which was cool. But then we took that down. Then we took down the 2 Ishtars, and that Myrmidon. That dude was pissed. He was throwing so much salt around.
So
And
mad, huh?
yeah, trying to talk about getting blobbed. I said, whatever, dude. I said, you're the one dropping, the battle cruiser on top of a bunch of cruisers, and now you're going to complain about it. So,
Yeah, that's the thing is that at any point he should have, no matter what, unless they were gonna not, or unless they were just gonna commit. Which if they commit, then you committed. That's your fault. Like, but you should be able to leave in a fucking Myrmidon. Did he have a jump drive? If he didn't have
he
micro
did
jump,
not.
no
He did
micro
not.
jump drive. That's a huge hit.
It's kind of a weird setup. He
If
was
you
set
want
up
to be
for
able to
fleet.
leave.
So he had he had his shit. He had.
Was it a Navy or was it just a regular?
Yeah, it was
Myrmidon?
the Navy. So
it was the Navy. So did he have web drones?
What drones was he using? Hold on. Make me look at a bunch of different
Nobody
stuff.
uses the web drone thing. I
No,
carried
I
a set
don't
of
think. No, he had
smalls.
no Wasps and armor repair drones. So he was doing armor repair. He had
What?
armor command burst units on, and then he
Okay.
had 2 skirmish units. So 3 armor things, 2 command bursts,
Oh, so he was
and
more
then
of like a command
he
boy.
was plated, and he was using tracker disruptors. So
Hmm.
he was in the full fleet support mode.
Support
So he
mode, yeah.
wasn't there to uh to kind of do damage to anybody. But I'm like, I don't know, 280 mil. So we'll take it.
Yeah,
But once
so
that Oneris went down, he was screwed, and I think he
yeah,
knew it. He should
that's
have tried to get
huge.
out, but he
Yep.
didn't put a micro jump drive on it. So
Yeah, and
that
then
was
you can always
that was
burn back to gate, but I mean, the thing is that just numbers in Eve. I hear people complain about blobbing, and it just every time it just irks me. Whether I've seen my team do it, I've seen a court mate of mine do it, and I'm just like, shut up.
yeah.
Gives a fuck, man.
It wasn't even a blob.
Like,
There was 12, 13 of us. There was 12 on his kill. So
I mean that feels
um,
like a blob if there's only
4 or
like
5.
5 of you, But
Yeah, but I think it was like 6 on 12, and of course, I don't know. It was small gang, but
oh, Hemp's internet
it
is
was a good
fixed.
fight. I thought it was a good fight. Somebody, I can't remember who died. I can't remember what we lost. I think we lost an ENI.
There you go. So they got a little bit of
There's some
blood on
change
their
on that.
hands. So,
So
but
we
yeah,
wrapped
it's
that up, and then Lear handed out some Taloses, and we went down and we flipped Melanamen. Then we went out and bashed that. So appreciate Lear like supplying everybody that. He was streaming he was showing live on Discord his thing, whatever they call that, where you do your live stream on Discord for your fleets and stuff. And to see what he's got in his hangar, I had hangar envy. That's a new thing I'm quoting is ship hangar envy, because I said he had the Taluses in there, but he just had a whole array of just really nice variety of ships, and I'm like, Mango is failing in that area.
I've got a pretty good hangar. I feel like Hadeli's, Yvangir, both Yvangir stations, everything has like a decent supply of fit ships. I'm trying to really boost up Hadai less. Like we were really starting to live out of Yvangir, but I feel like moving into Hadeli's has made things a lot easier for me in the regard that I can just put up buy orders and get the shit that I need. Like if I just put a reasonable rate, because everybody when they put up buy orders are like, okay, I want like 80% off on the buy order. Is like the the base that they do for that, so that it's always really really cheap. So if I just put a reasonable rate, even a rate that's slightly higher than if I had to go get it myself in high sec. See, I don't want to move 20 million trit. But if I put 20 million trit at like a little bit higher,
prices.
Gita prices, people will just start fucking just piling that shit into me. Like, and it's great because I don't want to. It takes so much fucking time to move that shit around, to move all the big mineral stuff. I mean, there is compression that I learned about and stuff. But there's a whole fucking rigmarole you got to do with it all. I've found that I really like just living in a system that there's an okay enough market that I can buy stuff. If it's not there, I can put up buy orders. If I want bulk stuff, I just put up buy orders. And there's people mining in low sec for some reason, so they'll fill your fucking orders for you, which is really kind of nice. But yeah, in general, it's been really great living out of Hadeli's, Hadai less.
Yeah, I haven't stocked up. I probably split most of my ships between there and Yvangir, but when the HQ got snuffed out, yeah, I've just been keeping my stuff in Yvangir. I figure it's one jump out of Hadeli's. It's not like too bad.
It's not too bad.
It's easier to get to. It's a little skosh safer to get to. From high sec,
yeah, from high sec it's a little bit safe, not much because it's
As long
has
as
its own
Samson's
things.
watching the game
Yeah,
for us.
Samson, but that hasn't been happening as much lately. We've kind of lost control over Yvangir, it seems. We'll have to come back there. The only thing is that I use it as my home station
Mm-hmm.
because I can't use Hades as a home station right now. Um, but yeah, let's make a transition here though, real quick, because we did say we're going to talk about the patch notes. There's a lot to go over,
Yeah.
and so let's get down to it. Glad that Hemp is able to join us here. It sounds like his internet
Yeah,
was
I
down
finally
for
got his
6 hours,
internet up and
and
going. Yeah.
yeah, I was out of power for 3 days, the beginning of this month, which was fucking
Yeah, when
crazy.
that transformer set your neighbor's house on
Yeah.
fire or whatever.
Oh my
Oof.
god, man, that was
Yeah,
ridiculous.
the storms we had this spring were crazy.
Hemp,
Crazy.
also, real quick, Hemp and anybody else out there, don't live in fucking Intaki. Live in Haydai less.
I always wondered, like, if Intaki was going to become the new Do-Dixie, like, if that would be the actual, like, central trade hub and would be a Jita equivalent.
I mean, that would be kind of cool.
I would love to have a Jita equivalent in the south.
The thing is that Intaki is just
high sec.
It's high sec, just not as your main. I don't mind like the using the shipcaster, I guess, is there. You can do that, but really, just come and live in Haydai. Put all of your shit there, and it's not that hard to get shit into Haydai.
Well, he says he bought them in Intaki.
Oh, that's fine.
Well, he fit them too. So, but yeah, 300 frigs in Intaki. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, and I mean, you can use Intaki. I'm not saying that you can't use Intaki. I'm just saying that having all of your shit right on the front line, like in the front line, in the one area that you want to be, is much better than having to, jump out. But what you can do is jump out from Intaki to Hades, and when you're finished, just dock up in Hades. The thing is, then you got to go all the way back to Intaki. Like, that's a lot of travel. You're going from one side of the fucking war zone to the other side of the war zone, and it's much easier to just live in the main war zone. So I always encourage people, live in the main war zone. You'll find yourself doing a lot less jumping around and
just like Hamshell got stuff scattered around dotted around the ores.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing too.
So do I, and
everywhere.
that's the problem. That's a big problem I have, because the ship I want, if I want my Brutix Navy issue, it's never in the system I want it to. So I gotta have it. I gotta balance. Yeah, I need to balance them out between the different systems. So I've always got it available to jump in.
Yeah, if you just times everything that you own by 5, and then you're good. And then you have to times everything by 10 once you start getting into like higher leadership handout positions, where it's like, okay, if I have 10 ENIs, I can just hand out 10 ENIs to people, and now we can go fucking murder something. So that's where I'm at right now. Is I've got like 50 fucking comets all set up and ready to go.
My plan is to start FCing a little bit more and try to get some of those handouts and stuff. Just your basic, your ENIs and I don't know, things to hand out. We'll see.
So it's because he's mainly so Hemp wants to mainly going to get some friends who don't normally PvDB to come down, set a clone, and we can yeet and die and reset. That's good. No, that's really good. That is something that if you're risk averse or PvP averse, it's a lot easier to get somebody in high sec to go, okay, come to Intaki, put a bunch of shit into Intaki. It's all high sec. It's 0.9 or something like that now. It's like ridiculously high security status. And then you can enlist for a little bit, and then you can use the shipcaster to go jump out into the war zone, and then when you're done for the day, you can de-enlist. I really like the enlistment stuff. I know we said we were going to talk about the patch notes, but real quick, there's a really strong part of me that wants to have Federation Frontline not part of the Galente, and so that I don't force every member into the war and then just do enlistment from there, because it's so much easier on people to enlist than it is for them to dedicate a whole character to murder fest every day. To be honest, faction warfare is probably best as a alt. It can be your main, it can be your alt or whatever, but you have to have. It really feels like if you do faction warfare and you want to really experience Eve, you should have a second character or even a third character, like a second character that does high sec and a third character that does your 0.0, and then you have a character that does. And so you could do that on one account technically. You're not going to be very, like you multi-training or whatever, blah blah blah. But I really do feel
I would advise
that
people not to do that.
it's really hard to say I have one character, I'm going to join faction warfare permanently. Like, that's all I do, and that's all I do. But I'm a bitter vet. I have done exploration. I have done wormhole diving. I haven't lived in a wormhole, but I've lived in 0.0. I've been part of the biggest empires and some of the biggest wars that have happened inside of this game. I have seen it all. I am tired. I am old. I am a bitter fucking vet. But my bitterness is just with the the insanity of this game, I guess, of where I've been all over the galaxy and now I just want to live in one spot. Like, Yavanger, hey Dylas, this is my home. I'm gonna stay here for at least a few more years. There are ambitions that I have, maybe of someday owning a constellation in 0.0. Like, that's if I get that and it stays for a decent while, I'll be able to win Eve and feel good about myself. I already feel good about a lot of shit that I did, but as long as I can run an organization that has a little bit of 0.0, a little bit of space that's underneath my name, but that's a long ways off. So, where's this push coming from, by the way? The one is that the Keldari are sick of only having the front line on Hades. And there's they gotta go a long way in order to get Running Man, in order to control the Running Man area. So Fleet, Hediles, Indrigol, Mirathan, Old Man Star, Melmanuel, and further from that, it's a lot of work to go and deplex those systems and stuff like that. And it feels like they're on a break. Like, the Galente felt like they were on a break a couple of weeks ago, if not for the past couple of months, that we've been kind of chilling a little bit. There's not been as many fleets that I saw in, Sedition's been out and about, definitely, but they can be a little bit more covert, work within themselves type kind of thing. They've got standing fleets and stuff, but it's been quiet, unless it's the peak EU time zone type stuff, US time zone type stuff, specific to our time zone on a Friday night or Saturday night. We, got stuff going. But things have been really chill for the Galente while all this conquering has been happening. However, we've jumped back over and we've the pendulum has swung. The sword of Damocles has happened, where it's just the swing has happened, and I'm seeing fleets all the time in Discord. I'm seeing people working together, people being up until 2 a.m. in the fucking morning US time zone, out there kicking ass, taking names, and that's been really good.
Yeah, we're seeing. I think more of our fighting is coming from the Garista pirates than from Keldari right now. That seems to be
regular pirates and Garista pirates. The Keldari have really scaled back. I saw that Trix is not in.
I haven't seen him in forever.
Well, no, he's not in Keldari anymore.
Oh, well then.
He was on our comms not too long ago, and hanging out in one of our. I think we were doing a Viator fleet or something like that, the Corvette fleet.
Yeah.
And that was a lot of fun. So.
The smart bombing Vex.
We were streaming, and he didn't want to make a specific comment as to why or what's going on with him. But he is no longer Keldari, and so that's a pretty big hit.
He's not coming our way though. I like flying with him.
I like Trix. Trix is cool.
Yeah, just
I like Corvus. Corvus is cool.
Probably towards the beginning of the year we were we joined we had a fleet together. So again, like as a person and a human being, as a pilot, I love we had really good time. I like flying with him. So but yeah, it's just kind of dawned on me. I hadn't seen him for a while. I just figured he either moved on or he's taking a break or retired.
So Lich, also remember that you can, if you do, so you got to have 2 characters once again, which is why faction warfare is all about 2 characters. Remember, if you have a bunch of shit stuck in Sujarento, now I want Suj. I want Suj bad, and we're gonna push to get Suj and Notorious. That's, I think, going to be one of the Federation front lines, like, biggest goals, because our ancestral home is really Notorious. Like, that's where, like, we got super excited about a lot of stuff in this area, and got us into the news. Like, the ancestral home, the primordial goo that created Federation Frontline comes from the Notorious news. Being involved in Notorious and being able to get onto the news, how exciting it was to be on the news. That was super cool.
He's already got 15 characters. Well, you need to get one more.
All right.
Yeah,
so you can, even if it's asset safety, you can go in a pod now, and this is a change. This is since Frontlines have been added to the game. You can now use a pod to get to any station. If you don't have docking access there for any reason, besides like upwell structures or whatever, but NPC stations, if your standings are too low, you're a pirate, whatever the reason is that's restricting you from accessing an NPC station, you can now take a pod and dock in it, and you can get all that shit out, because that was a really big fucking problem back in the day.
Well, you
can
arrange to have it taken out. You can't take it out.
No, you can take. Well, you can take it out of the asset safety, put it in your hangar, and then give it over to somebody. Or if it's already in the hangar, give it over to somebody.
I don't want to confuse anybody. Yeah, you can dock it, undock in a pod, but you can't.
Can't leave with.
Don't work, but we'll get up to Suj. I mean, we already have Tantalin again, so Suj is just a matter of time. I think we'll probably skip Devon. It's just too big of a crunch all the time.
Well, Devon's a good fighting zone, so it is hard to keep because it is very heavily monitored by defensive plexing, and it doesn't matter if it's 5% or 1%. There'll be somebody in the EU time zone that's deplexing that fucking place, making sure that it keeps its thing. But let's move on, because we've been talking now for like 40 minutes.
I feel this dude's pain though, because when Nightflyer was in Galmel, he had his Lashak tied up in Farir, like for whatever, one of the northern stations forever. Like when we first when Noir was first getting into it, and that sucked. That's 1.2 bill just sitting there. Like, god damn it.
The ult can't fly them. So yeah, you'd have to arrange like a red frog type kind of thing. Anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at these patch notes, because I mean that was like the title of this event here. So I mean, we're supposed to be talking about patch notes here, and I am super excited. We probably going to go a little bit over our normal hour, because we did have a lot to talk about. There's lots going on in this game right now. The Galantair kicking ass. We've been having a lot of fun. We've been really kicking ass out there, and this has been a fucking great week. But let's take a look at these patch notes here. So first thing on the docket, of course, is that this is a 0.0 patch. There's some minor stuff that we'll get into.
Yeah,
that isn't
real minor.
There's some. They came out of left. So you heard about carriers. You read the carriers.
I did. We'll get that, but
that's fucking crazy out of left field. Nobody's been talking about that at all. There was the help the carrier, like, let's make carriers great again type of Reddit post that was out there.
About it a dozen times.
Like, carriers need help. And oh my god,
Mark was on the show and we talked about it.
We're gonna talk about carriers. Like, carriers are fucking back, boy. They're back.
There's very little faction warfare stuff going
on.
There's
very little faction warfare that matters.
And most
even
of it is pirate
even
related.
Carriers are not really going to be about faction warfare. Now, maybe a little bit, because it is small gang type kind of stuff, and that would be fucking great to see them more in faction warfare. I'm even very tempted to get a carrier for sure, just to fuck
Yeah.
around with. Um, but anyways, so let's continue. Let's scroll down here. So we're not going to read this word for word. We're just going to go over the highlights and really talk. But I do want to talk about the 0.0 stuff because I am excited about that. I
Yeah.
think that that'll bring about some interesting, like the age of what was it called? Um, resource lack of resources. What the fuck was it called?
Oh,
Unprosperity or we don't give a fuck about this
scarcity.
game.
The age of
Scarcity. Fucking
Yeah.
stupid. Fucking. That's like. I don't know. That's like. I'm not gonna go into specifics, but that's like many slogans out there that have like. It's like you're just shooting yourself in the fucking foot by using that as your slogan, right?
Yeah.
Why would you use that? Scarcity is the dumbest fucking thing on earth. It didn't do what they
But
wanted it to do. In fact, we've had since scarcity, there's been really no fucking major wars besides. I think during the beginning of scarcity there was the invasion of goons, but since then it's been
mhm.
fucking nothing. Anyway, so it did not breed war. So they've come up with a new thing. Improve your goddamn space, like way better than the old stuff. So let's go into that. Let's go ahead and scroll down here. What's the first?
Yeah. So the iHub, and for those of you that didn't listen to the last show, the they're just working on how they're going to do Sov. Now, when you take Sov, you actually it's a three kind of part system. So you have this structure. But the structure works off of three things. One is power, which means you have to have a power supply, which either comes from a star, or I think you can also get it from a planet too.
Plasma planet
Yeah.
and gas giant, I
Yeah.
believe, or maybe
But
maybe not
yes,
plasma. Plasma might give you something else, but
but
I
yeah,
know
but
the gas
obviously
giant.
this the yeah. And you have to have a workforce, so now you have to have the things here. Have you been reading any of this stuff on the lore? There's been a lot of lore things posted recently about like the Amar say it's okay, the Mimitar now people have said, oh, if you guys want to join these workforces, you can. I'm not sure what that's kind of building to. I think maybe it's
Hmm.
just they're trying to build up the lore in it. It's again, I like the story. I like storytelling. I like the kind of the stuff behind Eve sometimes, but I don't always understand it. But that's a storyline that they're pushing now. So the Minotaur said it's okay if the clans want to join the workforce. You know, they're still from Minotaur.
Yeah.
Amar, hierarchy has said yes. You have our blessing. You are children of Amar, and they actually like the one line she says, "If you join the workforce, if you are of sin and you clone, it can cleanse your soul." So, kind of like if you are a low level, not a higher, not
Can
high
you get a
ranking Amar,
new soul? Is that what
if
the
you're
because you're dead
yeah,
now?
if you're a serf, you can be cloned and become part of this workforce, and it can relevate you so you can, it's a very Mar thing to do. So I
Wow.
thought that was funny. So you
Fucking
have the power,
weird.
you have a workforce, then you have the regents, which is going to be the raw materials and stuff that you're going to build with. And with those three things, your service hubs can dictate, or your sky hook
Right,
orbital
Skyhook will
sovereignty
be.
hub.
Yep.
Yeah. The sovereignty hub can um, dictate what you want that system to do. And I think that's actually pretty cool. So are we
Yeah.
going to increase ratting? Are we going to increase mining?
Right,
Or are
and
we
you
going
get
to
access to
increase
like a
production?
bunch of different stuff. That's
Yeah.
one of the things that's cool here. Real
So
quick though, so we got Lich was also talking about how they'd like to get a Fortizar for Galmil. So we had the stuff you can pay Snuff not to blow it up, and that protects you from quite a bit of the major threats that you would have to putting it up. But then you got to pay Snuff and deal with Snuff, and that's your choice type kind of thing. If you have the money, you can pull off stuff like that, but it's dangerous as fuck to have anything in low sec because anybody can come blow it up. So, um, Null is full of the resources making use of the. You were talking about how scarcity, like didn't really hurt 0.0 and stuff like that. Um, but I think this is a really good way of redefining and also making it a pain in the ass. Like I think actually that's one of the things that'll cut down on people. Now you're going to still have renter farms and stuff like that that'll happen, but the idea that I own all this crazy amount of space and I don't do anything with it is this system doesn't lead into that. You have to use all the space around you to connect to these things so that they have paths and flows and stuff like that. And if you're too fucking big, like you've got it's going to be too much
Yeah.
logistics for the narrow leadership roles that are running a lot of this shit to do it in all of their systems. So you're going to see that there's going to be a huge conversion over onto the main stuff right away. But in 6 months, I think that space will become a little bit more diverse because of this change. I feel like that new groups are going to pop up. Now, whether it's just in name, they're renters, or whatever, there's new leadership people who are going to control and manage space. Because managing of space has become from basically don't give a fuck. Like as supreme ruler of the Goon Swarm or any 0.0 alliance, I don't, owning more space is not a logistical nightmare. You've got jump bridges and stuff like that, or not jump bridge, um,
Those gate things.
the gate, the other gate that 0.0 gets.
The antiplexes?
Yes. So
Yeah.
you get those. You've got. It's not a logistical nightmare of keeping up with this. Like, how do you divert workforce and resources and all
Power,
these other, power and how do you build around this and how what space needs to be upgraded with what items and stuff like that. Like this is going to require more people to manage the space that exists in 0.0.
And to keep it, because that's the other thing. Now not only do you have to collect these resources to keep your your hub up and going, your sovereignty up and going, people can steal those resources just like in ESS. Like you and I, we can take ships, we can go and go, okay, I'm going to take your materials, I will steal those. So if you're not going to defend it, you're going to lose it. So it's just, again, they're really adding that conflict in there too, or just opening up targets or options for people.
Right. Well, and Lich is saying that like big alliances won't have a problem. I'm not saying that they'll have a problem as much as there is more workforce, real life human beings who are going to have to be involved in space, not logistics in the sense of moving items from one place to another, although this is part of that whole like thing that you'll have to build
definitely going to be a lot of planning.
There is going to be a lot of that.
Plan this stuff out.
But yeah, the bigger your space, the more that you're going to want. That one person isn't going to be able to oversee as much space management as they have been in the past. In the past, I feel like in the current system and in the past, it's been really easy for one person to oversee large swaths of 7 regions that we own. Like entire fucking not constellations, like entire fucking regions of space. They'll have 7 of them, and they're like, one person can handle the idea of what all of these need to do and why they're doing the thing that they're doing, because they don't interact with each other, they don't care about each other. It just is, this is the ratting space, this is, always just upgrade your pirate signature anomalies, maybe a little bit of fucking around, but this is a whole different fucking ball game. This is on the level of more of a 4X strategy game. You have 3 primary resources, like in Stellaris. You have power, which is power, but a little bit different in this, that it's super limited to a star system. Imagine if every star system in Stellaris only got to use the energy that star system created. Like, could you imagine trying to control 100 star systems in Stellaris if you had to worry about each individual fucking system and what it mattered, how much energy it put out, and manipulating that, and moving workforce from one to another? Just, you got like minerals and consumer goods and food, right, in Stellaris, but in this you've got workforce, power, and the minerals or whatever, the new
they have expanded that
new resources, regions, that's what they're called.
Yeah.
So I think that this is much more of setting things up to be much more 4X strategy type kind of stuff, like and has to do like grand strategy type kind of thought patterns on the highest level of 0.0. But so I like it. I don't know. I think this is all really cool. Um, and I think that it'll be really interesting to see what zero point zero does with these upgrades, and the new system, the new management that you have to bring in, the new theft that will be happening, because you can steal regions, right? So you can't steal workforce and you can't steal power, but you can steal regions, and so this
Yeah.
is going to be the new ESS activity that we have. So the new bank robbing that comes
so-
into it.
Yeah, here's kind of the breakdown. So power cannot be moved from its local solar system, so it has to stay, it's system by system. In some systems, if they've got what is the blue stars are the best, the white dwarfs are the worst, and then you can also get them from, as we talked about, plasma, storm, and gas giants. Workforces can be imported and exported via the Sov hub, and regions manually collected and moved. So
Yep. So there's a automated system of workforce where you nearby systems you can kind of do like this chain of workforce moving around, and then you have physical items that need to be moved from one point. So there is an additional logistics train that is coming with this. It's similar to the kind of PI, but on large, like massive. The more that you scale up, the more this becomes a harder thing to do, and you have to have more to control more space. So you could continue to do it underneath one group and have it, maybe it just increase your leadership positions within that group. But I think that there's a possibility that people will just continue to rent and/or coalition up with other alliances and be like, okay, you guys manage this area. They're gonna carve it out and be like, okay, so this, we know what all these things that need to be done and how best to utilize the space and stuff like that. And then there's going to be arguments about that, fights about that. New metas are going to come about on how do you utilize your space. Leadership positions are going to open for that. Concepts of allowing people to just renters do whatever the fuck you want with your shit instead of we control it is more possible, because it's just more of a pain in the ass to have to figure out the best way to utilize these regions to work with each other. Instead of I think it's like Constellation is going to be like the big thing, like.
Yeah.
Right, your nearby star systems are going to help each other with workforce quite a bit.
And Kerry Lich is right. The goons, they excel at logistics. Everybody knows that. If
Right.
anybody,
Well, so does
them,
Pam
they will have
and,
the structure in place. They will have the people. They know they'll. I'm sure they have this all meta.
I don't think that they're going to lose space based on what the goons have. The goons actually have a pretty good system.
Yeah.
And it has. I mean, in recent years,
I think it's actually going to help them over something like PanFam or Frat. That just, I don't think Frat has necessarily the logistics that Goons has. I could be wrong. I'm not an expert on Frat is all. I know obviously a lot more about Goons than I do Frat, but
yeah, I mean, the thing is though is that
them holding systems the way they are now. I think
and
they're going to.
The interesting thing is that very rare. The only ones that I see that are going to be fucked with a lot, because so Goons own 2 regions. Like that's not a lot. Like that. I mean, at the Deets they own 2 of the best regions.
Yeah.
They've got Delve and they've got Period Basin. Well, Period Basin's okay. It's just kind of this weird thing, but I mean, Delve is epic, right? But they're not crazy. They don't own like a crazy amount. Initiative has a little bit of Cloud Ring and all of Fountain. They've already kind of devied themselves up so that, and the way that it is, the only ones are kind of like, so Pandemic Horde owns like 5 regions because they own all of these drone space type kind of places. So that's gonna be a strain. I think one alliance at leadership level owning, they're part of a coalition and stuff, but one alliance owning 5 regions is gonna be a pain in the fucking ass for whoever is running the Sov distribution shit.
Yeah.
You know, like that's a lot of work to figure out all of these instead of just handing it off to somebody else and being like, all right, you do this. Now that can still happen within the alliance, but there's going to be more people than one person that needs to deal with the layout of how this, you know, how to operate the workforce, the what systems have what power, what system, you know, how to move the minerals or the items that need to be shifted around. Like, so you need more people in those positions is what I'm saying. That doesn't mean it has to come from out of alliance. Like, it can, your alliance itself can just grow the number of people involved in that project. But it is going to need a lot more than what it was needed before. And it would be a lot easier for Pandemic Horde to probably say, you know, you small alliance motherfuckers just take this region or these constellations and blah blah blah. So there is a ton of upgrades that are going to be coming here. And one of the big things is they get Velspar now. They get any mineral that they want. So self-sufficiency is really the name of the game now, right?
Well, and again, it's all going to come with what if you have Sav in the system and you upgrade, you make these mining upgrades, you're going to have a lot better access to these things. But if you're upgrading your mining, then you're not upgrading your PvE for dough, and you're not, you know, completing your infrastructure. So it's finding that balance in between systems and in between these Sav structures of, you know, who's doing what, or you know, because again, it's a lot to think about. I mean, that's like big brain thinking. That's going to be a full-time job for somebody.
So one of the things that's interesting is the statement here that it says contains abundance of Velspar for the Velspar deposit. A lot of people debating on what the fuck does that mean. We don't really know yet because we don't have access to the test server or anything. We don't know what an abundance of Velspar means. Is that like, you know, one high-sec belt that spawns every day or something that's nothing, you know, is not going to meet the demands of the alliance? Or is it something that's like, this is gonna like change everything? Like, it's because right now Velspar comes and Tritanium really comes from high sec. That's really the only place that you really are getting any massive amounts. The amounts needed to build battleships and bigger ships and stuff like that really only comes from high sec at this point. And there's a bunch of low sec materials and stuff like that. So you can make all of it, right? Is there anything on here that can't be generated by this? I don't think that there's like, because there's
that's not already
isogen, tritanium, noxium, pyrite, so they can make it all, right? So they don't need to go to high sec anymore in order to do their mining there.
No, other than morphinite, which again,
right now you can't.
No, there's no morphinite here, so that's still a thing. But outside of that, yeah, they should have all the natural raw materials they need there. Undiscovered asteroid belt escalation.
Players completing any of the above asteroid belts have a small chance to get the first ever mining escalation. That's interesting. I must have. My brain didn't really take that in. That's cool.
I just picked that up, so that's kind of cool.
That's interesting. So, and then there's the Forsaken Sanctum now, which is there's basically going to be an upgraded Sanctum site that you're going to need a Marauder really to run, is what they're kind of saying. You want to play that video actually real quick? I just want to see. I've never actually played that video.
This one, the 11-minute clip.
Yeah, 11-second should be on. Right.
No. And there's no sound, so.
Oh, there is no sound.
Oh yeah, you can see. So it's got so it's kind of like going after a fob, really. It's gonna have like a different things. So it's a pretty picture, but they don't really show a whole lot with it. But from what I get, they're gonna upgrade this, so you'll have kind of like a it's the moon. Maybe it's later on. It starts talking about the sauce, but there's
they will need to faction. They will
there's
need
a
to
major and a minor
faction stuff still. Yeah. But But I mean, the idea that they get all the minerals and hopefully a
Yeah.
large amount. I'm hoping for. So the new moon drill. This is one thing that's going to be really interesting. People are
Yeah.
kind of pissed off about this in
Yeah, a
multiple different
little bit.
directions here.
A little bit.
Um, but basically, instead of having to actively moon mine your system with miners and barges and shit like that, you are able to what is it, 40% efficiency basically. So I think that's good. The thing is that this thing is easy to kill. This is
Yeah.
not going to be a crazy. It's much more like a POS without guns. So people are kind of pissed off that comparatively to the old moon mining, this is going to be way easier to disrupt and fucked with. It's not going to be as defendable as a POS because it doesn't have auto guns on it, doesn't have any guns on it. You can't dock, no tether, and it is very susceptible to getting hit and fucked with, and stopped and stuff like that. So they are going back to the old way of doing things. Kind of. This is, you can do one or the other. It's much better to actively moon mine your shit, and it kind of goes into, what's more, what works more. Are there some areas some moons that you own that are just not getting actively mined? Well, then throw up these things. Are you a group that only does PvP and doesn't want to do moon mining? Throw up these things. Do actual mining that has to happen. Which is something like my group would be much more. I would be much more into buying one of these, but they're expensive as fuck. They're easy to blow up, and there's nothing.
You gotta use fuel blocks and magmatic gas harvested from lava planets, which can only be done in nullsec. So.
Yeah. So this is.
Wait. Well, I'm guessing.
I don't know about that, but I do know that this is. I'm interested to see what'll happen with this.
Yeah.
There's some people that are saying, well, this is way too easy. This sucks because it brings us back to the old way of bringing back moon mining as a passive income source. But it seems like you can't put a Death Star on. You could put a Death Star or what were they called? The ones that it just jams. Like there's a million jams that are on it. The Jam Star or whatever. You can't build these Dick Star. That's what it was. Yes, that's it. Dick Star. So the Death Star and the Dick Star are not able to be set up on these. So you can come and fuck with this. Like this is a small fleet, comes in and can totally just start knocking over your moon mining operation. Now, getting it to blow up might be a lot harder, but you can definitely go fuck with it. It's not going to be that hard to go fuck with. Now, getting it blown up might but if, let's say that Pandemic Legion or Snuff puts up a bunch of these in low sec, these are totally targetable and have much more profit to be fucked with than the customs offices. So we'll see. In some areas, this is. Some like groups like maybe Goonswarm is probably going to be able to be a little bit more passive moon mining on some of their stuff. But I feel like they're going to want that 60% if they can mine it. Like that's more, that's an important thing. So we'll see. Cucumbro, how goes it? Welcome. So yeah, we're just kind of going over. So yeah, it's got real quick here, just going over those stats here real quick. So it's got 1 million shields, 1 million armor, 24 million HP hull, and at 0% resist. 75 and 75. There's no defense, no weaponry, no tether ability. So, I mean, this is... And I think the first reinforcement... once it leaves reinforcement, you'll need to repair... Oh, this is another thing, is that this is raw damage. There is no damage cap on it. so you can bring in a shit ton of dreads for one cycle and just wipe out, put it into siege. And then you need to actually come in repair these things with logistic ships, is my understanding. There's like a passive one that's it's not gonna be very good, but you're like, this is actually going to take active healers in order to protect these moons, basically, and that it's not going to be like, oh, we've got a ton of time to deal with, like, oh, we can arrive 10 minutes late because then we still have 5 minutes left on the clock in order to stop the timer from being run down, and then we just need to run out the clock. No, this is, oh, they brought a bunch of DPS and it's over in 2 minutes. They just fucking wiped that moon mining drill off the fucking face of the earth. So I don't think these are going to be super safe. I really don't. I think that they're actually going to be really dangerous. Now, the small people are the ones that are going to be more fucked by trying to, like, small people are not going to be able to use these. Anybody that hasn't made massive deals with the people around them that are the powerhouses in their area are not going to be able to keep these up, because if Pandemic knows they can only, or if Snuff, Pandemic Legion, or Goons know that they only need to spend 2 minutes to wipe out the fucking item, like, that's it? Oh, fuck, man, who gives a fuck? Then we can go, like, even killing Aster House is like 20, 30 fucking minutes, right? Shadow Cartel, other groups, like, Ahab, all of them, like, there's tons of them, tons all over the fucking place. Even the Galente. Fuck, we can get 30 fucking people together and just get in Taloses that do a bunch of fucking damage and just fucking jump in and just start doing massive amount of damage and be done in 15 minutes. Like, you're gonna be harassed if you put these fuckers up and you're not ready. 50 Nixes melt shit fast. Yeah, that's another thing too. Yeah, super caps will be huge on this. Carriers actually will be really good to use on these too, because if you can get 100 carriers together, with 20 super caps behind that, like, it's only 120 people from some of these big ass alliances, and that's just gonna melt it safely. You're just gonna melt it from a distance, and you'll be fine. So let's move on though. So this is cool, but it's not. I really do think that it's. I think it's a good addition. I think it adds a little bit more possibility of these weird fights that are more pos kind of like empty pos, with just a moon mining drill kind of thing. I think that there's a bunch of stuff that's coming with the stealing and the thieving. And now this is where you can steal and thieve. This is kind of cool, is that they've brought out some new haulers. And these haulers are PvP oriented, have a decent amount of cargo space, generally like 50% of the general cargo space, but then they have an insane amount of these minerals that they can haul inside of them, or Aster Houses, or keep stars that you can put in some of these fuckers, like a bunch of keep stars in the freighter. I think it's got like 2 like 3 keep stars or something that it can hold. It's kind of fucking insane. Like, so the first one is what? Infrastructure capacity hold 450,000 m squared. That's a T1 hauler that basically has the ability to put blockade runner level sized items inside of it, which is huge.
Well, it says infrastructure holding capacity. So
right, that's only for keep stars or Aster Houses or fuel or these new commodities that you can get from to keep 0.0 running.
Shields.
So yeah, these are interesting. They've got missiles that missile bonuses that are pretty good. They're gonna cost a little bit more. I don't know. The big one that I've heard that's really gonna change everything is that, or not change everything. I don't know. Zero or high tech gankers are really pissed off that the new the new freighter is going to be insane.
Yeah.
So The other ones, so but you've got your basic T1 hauler, your Tech 2 blockade runner, and your Tech 2 um, deep space transport, right? These have weapons on them. They have a much smaller regular cargo hold, but have a huge infrastructure hold. So is that so the cargo capacity, the regular one on the Cove Ops, the one that can fit a Cove Ops cloak, but it still has. Oh no.
No, this is the Deluge.
That's the deep space trans. Okay, so this one has so the Deluge here has 4,000 regular capacity and 30,000 infrastructure hub, and that's pretty fucking solid. For a Cove Ops cloak hauler to be able to go around. It can participate in PvP fleets, and the orcas. I think that these fill different roles than orcas still. So I don't think that. Or they might go down because scarcity is starting to come to an end, really. And they've already kind of done some stuff to try and bring scarcity down. But yeah, this is definitely a different area than orcas, I feel. But I could be wrong. I don't know much about this stuff, to be honest. I might get some of these for one of my alts that does hauling for me, but I'm probably not going to do any switching because I don't use a regular freighter. I use a DST, and I would rather have the cargo capacity of regular cargo capacity than putting up structures, because I don't do that. So I don't really deal with PI at all, so I don't have to worry about that. So this doesn't personally influence me very much. But I think it's kind of cool. The Avalanche is the one that the high-tech gankers are complaining the most about. They think that it can be tanked way too easily, and don't like that it shoots back. But mostly that it tanks too much is what they're like. I don't care about the missiles. I care about that it tanks way too much. And truthfully, the missiles are kind of cool, but it'll help in high-tech ganking to a certain degree. Like, you might be able to take out 2 or 3 or 4, depending on like the high sec that you're in, before Concord comes and cleans up the rest. But auto-targeting missiles are not. You still have to go through a whole cycle. You only have like 5 or 6 seconds, maybe 10 or whatever, before Concord comes in. But and the DST is a brick as well, which points out. So, so these are interesting. I think there's a lot of herp-burb about how this is going to change, be a game-altering thing, and that 0.0 high sec ganking is no longer. Hey, puppy. Is no longer viable. Blah 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 blah. Whatever. Crying wine tears. You know what I have to say? Adapt or fucking die. Get used to it. It's an ever evolving game, and I don't think this is as damning as the high sec gankers think it is. People are still gonna high sec gank. So this is the big one though that I really want to talk about. That is kind of out of left field. They haven't talked about this at all. They haven't really mentioned that this was coming, and
we talked about hoping they had something like this planned. I mean, we have talked about this for like at least the last 6 months of how carriers are just broken. They have no place. Well, since they came out with the whatever those ships are called, the last dreads they came out with the. Why is my brain not working? But
when the Haw dread came out, and like the idea of the carrier also got an application nerf on all of its fighters, because it was in a really like superior spot for a while, where it was like, okay, you use it for ratting, use it for PvP, you do long range PvP with it, and it can kill subcaps and capitals. Like, oh fuck, man, this is like everything that you need, right? Like. And so they were like, well, what if we make it so it doesn't apply? So then you lost ratting and subcap PvP, and it's not very good at capital. Like, comparatively, like, you much rather have something else do capital. Fortizar or structure sieging, it was pretty decent at because it could do it from range. But if you just sieged a bunch of dreads, you could just finish it off quickly instead of having to pelt away at it slowly with a bunch of carriers. But they've come up with a whole new thing. The carrier is a busher and a conduit jumper now. So from my understanding is that the carrier now has the capacity of using a conduit jump that takes 5 to 30 players depending on your skill, and the number of players which are passengers for the jump is increased by new skills. So basically what this does is allow you to jump from one system to another, but the carrier has to come with, right? So you can't just send people somewhere like the Titan does. You have to come with them as the carrier. But you can jump to any Cyno within normal Cyno ranges, right?
Yeah.
So this is the carrier carries people, which is kind of cool. You do have to have Jump Portal Generation 5, which everybody's really pissed off about. Because a lot of people don't do that, because Jump Portal Generation 5 is only about how much energy or how much resources are used in order to do the jump, basically. It doesn't extend the length of it or anything like that. So most people don't have 5.
It's probably a nice, 48-day train or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
60-day train?
It's huge. Yeah, it's 14 times. But it can carry pretty much everything. Corvettes, frigates, destroyers, cruisers, battleships. These can all be brought with it. It cannot do industrial ships. So, like Black Ops can use any of the if you can fit a cloak. You got the blockade runner can be like portaled around with the jump with a Black Ops ship. But this can do all the combat ships that matter, basically. It's not going to be transporting freighters. It's not going to be transporting T1 haulers or anything to get around. Which you can just stick those in the cargo bay and blah, blah, blah. Anyways, I really like this carrier. The conduit jump is cool. It's interesting that it has to bring the carrier with, which makes the carrier much more at threat. But there's a little bit less of a threat that's going on here, and things that could even get more interesting as we continue on, because it doesn't just get conduit jumping, it also gets the micro jump drive, and also gets a capital micro jump drive field generator. So this thing can MJD itself, or it can MJD capitals. We're talking carriers, dreadnoughts in siege, roicules that are
bastions, yeah.
Bastioned and industrial set it up or whatever, doesn't matter if they're in panic mode or not. These things can boosh. So you are no longer safe from booshing in a capital ship.
And I love this too. And it's not 100 km.
Nope, it's 250 km.
So good distance. So it's going to either,
well, this is
drop
interesting.
People on you, or it's going to pull people away from you.
The interesting thing about it going 250 kilometers away, though, is that anybody can warp to you. Then, so if you're in an enemy or you're in a fleet, somebody comes in, carrier bushes half of your group away, you can just align and warp and land back on where that action is happening. But so I think that's actually a negative. I don't like that it's 250 because it's not protect. Now I like it though for dead space fights. So this is in faction warfare. This will be really interesting in opens and in outside of plexes. You could have a carrier that just drops in and booshes shit off, and it's 250 kilometers away. Nobody can warp to it. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, but I kind of like the micro jump drive aspect of going that far.
That too, that's huge. And by yourself, if you're going by yourself, you're out of the fight, right? Like you can just send your drone. You're not even out of the fight. You're out of danger.
Yeah.
Like, because you can send your drones the entire grid, right? Your fighters go the entire grid. So
Now you can't spearfish with these, so you can't have one carrier jump and another carrier
right,
like hit
because
theirs right
everything
at
is
the
scrammed for 5 seconds
5 seconds.
after you
Yeah.
jump. So yeah, you
So
can't move things really far away, but you can still move them 250 kilometers exactly away, which is pretty
yeah.
fucking good.
So that would have been kind of cool if you could spearfish with them. Or you 1, 2. Okay, now you got, you boosh people off, you boosh them again. Now you're 500 km away. But that'd be kind of fun. But again, they're gonna have to train up to these, but I think
There's
this
new
is going to
skills. Yep.
this is going to put carriers back in the game, though.
Yeah, I think that
I'm
this gives them a
excited about
solid
this,
role. Solid role. They also get the new faction fighters, which might help a little bit with PvE, and maybe a little bit with PvP, because they have a massive amount of significantly higher. They haven't come up with the stats exactly, but a significantly higher hit points than the T1 or T2 fighters, but they have slightly lower damage than a T2 fighter. So this is also another thing that the LP store for Faction Warfare is getting. So there are a few things like the items in order to upgrade or create the T2 blueprints or whatever. I don't know. There's some new items that are coming for the industrial ships, data cores or something like that are a new item that we can buy in the Faction Warfare LP store. This is another item that can be bought in the Faction Warfare LP store. There's a bunch of little items that are coming to the Faction Warfare LP store, so I'm kind of excited to cash out my 20 million LP and try selling a bunch of this
I've been
shit.
trying to use mine little by little. Like I said, I've been manufacturing and
yeah, I just continue to buy cruiser, battle cruiser, like a few battle cruisers, a bunch of cruisers, an insane amount of destroyers, and an insane amount of comets, and I just have like all these blueprints. But it's cheap, and it doesn't take that much away. These look like this is gonna be 100 million or 100,000 LP points and 100 million ISK for one of these fighters. 180,000 LP. Like that takes a chunk out of my LP right there. So I might build a bunch of these right away in the beginning, get them sold off, and maybe make a bunch of money. So.
I don't know much about fighters. I don't know the difference. I've fought them. I know they're hard to blow up.
Yeah, they're not that bad actually.
And well, if you're in a frigate or destroyer,
it takes a decent
or something
amount.
that can't.
They're like little frigates, basically.
Yeah.
They're the little frigates.
But I don't know which ones are these. But are these? Do they kind of go in line with?
It's very similar to drones. Very similar to drones.
So the Federation ones are going to be slower but have more of a punch, where the Minmatar ones, the Republic fleets, are going to be faster but not quite as damaging. Maybe they kind of follow that criteria.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll see. I think that this will be really interesting. I can't wait to try these out and see what... Well, actually, I won't be able to do anything with the carrier probably for a while.
Yeah, Mango's still several.
I mean, I can use all of the stuff, and I could train up that skill like immediately if I needed to. But I really don't think that I'm going to be fucking around with the carrier anytime soon in Faction Warfare. It's just not needed. I would rather have like 150 comets, fully fit, ready to go, than have a shit fit carrier that can boosh. Because then I can just hand out those comets and let's just go out and have fun, make tons of fucking money and get tons of kills with that. But this might make me a shit ton of money because the first like 3 or 4 days, probably going to be able to make a lot of ISK per LP comparatively to what it's at right now. So targeted doomsday weapon is the next big thing here. They changed it from an increase of 1 million to 2 million damage So a fully skilled Titan does 3 million damage in one shot now. Um, damn, that's cool.
Yeah, that's
Okay, so you're taking down capitals with a big shot there. Like that's double the amount of damage. That's pretty fucking crazy. Like that so you might see more single shot doomsdays going off out there. Does this affect faction warfare? Absolutely. I mean, we always have like 100 carriers in a plex, and like, you gotta worry about the drive-by Titan everywhere you go, right? Like
constantly.
It's,
Sitting in the medium plex waiting.
But maybe faction warfare will turn into a crazy capital carrier slugfest that is going to start happening between.
Yeah, we do see them. I mean, there have been Titans on field in faction warfare. Even recently, a couple shows ago, we were talking about like they popped up. Like
they do have a lot, but not
once a year.
Really.
Once a year something happens. So
there's some changes coming to the yacht. They're making it so that it's less of a wormholing rolling ship. So they saw that wormholers were using the luxury yacht, to be too good of a wormhole roller, so they fucked it in the ass. And I don't know. I haven't heard anybody bitching directly about this. There's some other wormhole changes that people are bitching about. So there's the new auto-targeting missiles that are going to be having a minor revamp because of the avalanche. But there are some interesting changes here for faction warfare. So we've got the FOB spawn rules have been adjusted, so the FOBs are far closer and far more likely to be placed in command operation systems adjacent to front lines rather than being in rearguard systems. The small Navy 1 complexes are no longer static, guaranteed respawns in rearguard systems. Command operation and frontline systems will now roam instead. So all this affects. So smalls they're almost getting rid of smalls, and instead of the small, they're getting a medium advanced one. Now, because it's roaming doesn't mean they're getting rid of it. It just means that that's like, mediums are where it's going to be at. Mediums are where it's at anyways. Mediums and larges when it comes to flipping a system anyways. It's a medium advanced, so it's more likely. That's cool, because that means that I can actually take out my Hugin all the time. Like, everywhere I fucking go, Hugin's accepted now. There is a medium advanced for you guys to go fight in now in every fucking system. That's cool. I like it. That's a good change. Solid. Faction Warfare Battlefield NPCs will now spawn more slowly. Good, because your fucking spawn rate was fucking terrible. You could literally kill the spawn and it would be back before a cycle would go. It was fucked up. So we don't know how much slower, but it's going to be slower. And they're going to tell us to fuck off with your goddamn battlecruiser kiting. No, all NPCs are now going to be hanging out in the capture zone. Kill them, or you don't capture the site. So good change.
Yeah,
definitely. So it's a little bit more work.
Self-repping, Punisher sitting in the.
So stupid. It just felt stupid. I don't care if I mean, as a faction warfare battlefield enthusiast, I would much rather the ability to kite a battle cruiser, but it just felt stupid. This is different. This is not supposed to be dumbassery. Okay, I don't know. I like it. So, adding new faction command mind links, which give a bonus to information and skirmish command bursts, is available in the stupid fucking Garistas bitch fucking bitches. Garistas and the Angels now have a new command skirmish link that they can spend their LP on. Added new faction and officer variants for the signature radius suppression modules. Not that cool. And then the Vendetta and Vehement is got a little bit of a rework on it. Not really
Yeah.
caring about that.
No.
If you really care about it, well, fucking look it up yourself then. um, so what do we got here?
Some graphics
Oh yeah,
updates.
some graphics updates. Some I heard that there's going to be a light mode for the star, so the star doesn't blind you because all
Yeah, we were.
iHubs are moving to the star or something like that.
Yeah, but
Ooh,
maybe to the
Skinner.
star, away from the star.
No, they're
Yeah.
like right at the star. Like they're gonna
Oh.
move them to every iHub's being moved to the star basically. And is it a new name for the iHub? I think it's a new name, not the iHub anymore. Is it? I don't know. Anyways, let's move on. The Skinner. So I have a prediction. My prediction is that this takes over skins. That there will be a few skins out there that are still worth money and cool that have holographic items and stuff on this, but every other skin in the game is gonna become worthless because these are way fucking better. Um, like the ability to make skins and the massive amount of resources that they have for us to be able to manipulate this. Now, time to penis. I think it's gonna be a little rough on this one. True time to penis. There'll be close to penis, like the thorax by itself. Pink is a pink dildo, so they'll be like, "Oh, that was time to penis," and I'll be like, "No, that's not time to penis. That's time to close to penis." And we already have that. We have the thorax. It's already there. It's already a dildo. Like we're like you can't just put a color on it and be like, "Whoa, that's time to penis." No, it's got to have a dick-shaped thing within the creation item, and I think
Mhm.
that'll be a little bit harder to do with the way that they've done this. It's overly complicated. It's a crazy system. You can do a lot with it, but you are severely restricted. Um, it's going to be yeah. But the flesh-colored thorax is not. That's not time to penis. It's not. It's not. It's close. It's fucking close, but it's not time to penis yet.
I don't know the issue that some of these people were making on this. Their skins, like they don't make you fly better. They don't make your ship
Yeah, the
better.
whole like, oh well,
And
we have to pay, pay
nobody,
Plex to
you know,
make it faster or whatever, and that it's become like it. They set it up to be similar to like how manufacturing is in game.
mhm.
Basically, they wanted it to be like there's all this process and it takes time. And also, I think they're taking time to look at time to penis. So, um, so this I don't know. I like the skins. I like
Oh,
some really good. Like the police skin is really fucking cool. I like cool skins.
yeah.
One of my most favorite skins is one of the cheapest skins in the game, which is the Death Glow skin. Like
Hmm.
on any ship that can have a Death Glow skin, I want to have a Death Glow skin. It's all very cheap to have. Um, I just predict that this is gonna kill the pre-made like CCP made skins are not going to be as cool unless they're like the casino skin, the 20th anniversary skin, the ones that got holographs that are weird shit that you can't do in Skinner. And Skinner will probably come out with that ability to do that shit. And this is the new age of skins. I'm kind of
This is
cool for it. So
this is the interesting thing. A total of 11 new skills for those
that's
interested.
another
There's
thing too. Yeah, there's a
11. Like
whole. This is
I
the whole
even
thing. This is an
you're gonna have to have
industry,
an.
a money
I
making
don't know.
thing, an activity,
And
a
my guess is you're gonna have to be Omega. That none of that's gonna be Alpha available. So
right,
if
make push
I'm
towards
not going to
Omega.
take my Omega transport or manufacturer and have her waste her time on these skin builds.
I'm not,
Maybe
but
I don't know. I guess a couple years from now when she's maxed out all of that other stuff, the PI and the piloting, whatever. Maybe, but that's like so far off.
right. No, it's this is something that I'm not interested in per se, but there is a very strong. I'm interested in to see what the skins are going to be created and stuff, but I'm not really interested in doing the activity of making the skins. But there is going to be a subset of artists in EVE Online who are going to try and make
Yeah.
and will make an insane amount of money by creating some kind of crazy ass looking awesome skin. You know, like so
Mhm.
there is a pathway for more artistry in EVE than ever before. There's Alliance logo creators. There's a bunch of other, avenues of making ISK or Plex or real life money for, out of game assets that are created for alliances and websites being created. Blah 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 blah. But this is a new thing. I like it. I'm not totally good. I don't want to dive deep into this because it's a lot. If you want to dive deep into it, fucking read it yourself.
Yeah.
But there's new skins coming out, and I'm getting rid of all of my skins. I'm trying to get rid of all of my skins before the patch comes, because I don't think they're gonna be worth shit as soon as these start rolling. Like, this is where all people are gonna put their time earned money into. Like, I've got some skins that are worth like 3 billion ISK right now, and I'm like, I gotta get rid of these fucking things. They're not gonna be worth 3 billion ISK in a year.
Yeah. Sequencing.
So yeah, there's there's a whole thing on collecting these new things. It's really deep. It's part of the daily rewards that you'll get. That's a big one. I don't think we've gotten to it yet, so I'll wait to it. But the daily rewards are changing.
Yeah. So this says, okay, so alphas can do sequencing. I forgot I read this earlier, but they can only create skins for hulls that can fly. So only.
Yeah. So it's only
T1s,
like cruisers, frigates, up to battleships, pretty much.
Yeah, the T1s of all those.
Yep. And faction, because they can do faction.
Corporate projects. Have you played with this at all? I haven't played.
So I like the corporate projects. I like that I find it interesting. So very gameable, very stupid fucking bitches are gonna do stupid fucking things with the ship loss corporate project. So they have the ability for you to use this system built in game, guaranteed payouts if you lose a ship, right? And the thing is, it's going to be a lot of work, because you got to be like, okay, if you lose an executor, you get this. If you lose, but so you can set it up for your doctrine. You can go a little bit outside of that, but it's going to be like every fucking ship you got to go through and build a project for, put money aside for, and maintain over time. The ship loss one, it's a good idea. I like it that it's there. I'm probably not going to use it for my corp. I'd rather just give you a comment or give you 30 million ISK when you're on a fleet with me, when I'm flying around. But I am low. We're like really small scale. If we were like 30 people, I might consider using this, but abuse is there. Like, easily, it's like, oh, all I have to lose is an unfit caracal, and I can get more than the caracal's worth, because the fit that's suggested is 30 million when I only need to spend 11 million or whatever on the hull, and you can go out and do that, and da 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 da, bitch bitch bitch, whine whine whine, cry cry cry. There's just gonna be a bunch of fucking bullshit that's gonna fucking this is gonna be a lot of crying about this.
Yeah.
But then there's also going to be a lot of good use of it. And I think that the good use of it will outweigh the crying and bitching and manipulation of it. But there is going to be crying, manipulation, and bitching about this. Absolutely.
Of course. Yeah.
But it's going to be very localized. It's not like going to Reddit, right? So hold on real quick. I just want to go up to the other activities. So the next one is the Earn LP. This, I think, is a good one. This is really good, actually. I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I might put like a 25% tax on our LP and then give you an amount of ISK that's equivalent to like 20% or something like that. Where you get you just get a direct ISK injection. You can do it at like 25%, 50%, or 100% or whatever, and you can give ISK injections, and the corp gets the LP. That's cool.
Yeah, that is
That's
actually
fucking
pretty
cool.
Yeah.
Like, I like with the taxation system incorporated with the earn LP ISK reward that you can give out. Once again, fucking got it. Fucking did it. This is good. This is really good. Salvage wreck, newbies, stuff like that. It might be like a newbie thing. It's quaint. It's interesting. Ship loss. It's better than ship loss. Less gameable because you're just gonna fucking go. You know, you have to go do something, and your
Well,
court wants you to get salvage for whatever
I
reason.
love salvaging wrecks, and I wish that they would buff the Noctis, where you could actually have it as part of your fleet, like where that the ship would come along with you and could do the salvaging and stuff for your gang as you're going through.
You could do it with the destroyer. You could have like a really tanked out destroyer.
I want to use the Noctis, man.
Yeah, I hear you.
That's what I want to do. Is that I got a player who's maxed out on it because he was doing it with the Trig Hunters.
Yeah. So the big one I think here though is the LP earner.
Yeah.
The salvaging of Rex is kind of cool, but
like I said, I love salvaging Rex. So
fine edition, not
Space Queen. It's one of my favorites.
I don't give a fuck about it. You like it, so that's cool.
I do. I do.
And well, I mean, but really, do you want to reward? Just give out free ISK for people that are salvaging. You know what? The incentive is for. That's a new player incentive, and it's a good one. I don't want to have my guys feeling like that they should go out and salvage. I want them to attack specific systems, and they've already given us that ability last patch. I like these corporate projects, though. Fucking great. I love these corporate projects. I think this is the correct way to move forward with allowing for you to really distinguish your corporation from other corporations in the Alliance. So improve daily goals. So this is an interesting one. Gone are the days of logging in and getting your free LP, your free ISK or whatever. It's gone. Like you don't get free skins anymore. In fact, you don't get any more skins, which I am kind of pissed off about.
Yeah.
I'm not so much pissed off about that you can't just log in your character and get free LP or SP or free skins or free booster.
I like the free drugs.
The free drugs. So I don't think you get free drugs anymore.
No,
fuck
that sucks.
you, CCP. I loved my. You're giving me the thing to put in my arm, and now I don't get the thing to put in my arm anymore.
Oh,
What are you like? You're gonna have so much withdrawal. Like, I guess I'm gonna have to buy drugs now. Yeah, it just that kind of sucks. They've got to find a way to bring in free drugs again because it showed people that drugs are cool.
They make a difference.
You should take.
I can get like a 3% tracking bonus or something. It helps. It's it can be.
Yeah, you can't buy the ones that came from daily. Exactly. We need something to bring that back. That's one thing I'm pissed off about. The skins, you no longer get skin rewards. You get the Skinner rewards, which I'm not going to be playing around very much with that. I might play around with it a very little bit. Maybe to make some of my own. Maybe one or two. Like, I might make a skin for the Comet, for the Catalyst Navy issue, the Executor Navy issue, and a Brutix Navy issue, maybe a Megatron 8. But not really, because, I don't know. That's just not... I don't know. Whatever. It's just a whole thing. So... But you are getting more SP per, way more SP per account.
Yeah.
So every character, not every account, gets these daily rewards. So you can log into all 3 of your characters, one after another. If you've got 10 accounts, that's 30 characters per day that you could log in and complete 30 daily things and get your SP reward daily. And after finishing 14 of these, then you get more, as you progress. It's like 14 days out of the week, you've got to log in that character and go do something for the different activities. The thing about the activities is that it's also going to be a global daily activity. So if it says kill 20 people, then you can do that with a buddy. If it says or kill 20 NPCs or manufacture an item, everybody gets the same thing, so they can do the things together as a corporation in order to complete these. So I don't know. It's nice that it's more. I see why you would want to have it be a activity that you have to go do. Like it really is like a lot. And I do this with my alt. Is I just log them in and then log them out. Unless I got a use for that, I'm not getting ships into space due to the daily logins. This will get ships into space to do daily logins. Is it gonna hurt some people? Abso-fucking-lutely. Like me? Probably. Like, I don't know. I might do these things, I might not. I'm so old now that SP is not a great way of forcing me to do things. Like, you're like, you can get 1,000,000 LP or SP for doing an activity, and it's like you have to go mine 1,000 rocks. I would be like, nah, I don't need 1,000,000 SP. I don't need 1,000,000 SP. I will not go mine your rocks. Like,
well, it's like 5,000 SP. Like,
it's not a lot.
I'm not gonna spend 20 minutes out on a minefield, like an ore field. Just, I don't know.
It's an interesting thing that a lot of the incentives here are like, I don't care about ever marks. I mean, yeah, they're cool. I've bought most of the ships that I use, and I do have a cool Corp logo now on top of my kick-ass, badass, super badass fucking Alliance logo. Join the Federation Frontline Report because we have the best Alliance logo in all of fucking EVE Online. But we've got a cool Corp logo now, and I like having that displayed on my ships. But yeah, in the end, it's just there's nothing that they're really giving me. Evermarks are not great for me. Some people they're great. I don't like or I don't care about the Skinner system. I don't really care about SP. What's ISK? They're giving you straight up ISK. It's probably the only one that I'm like, okay. Oh, and Plex. So I like that. They're giving Plex, which is a new thing, and ISK, which is a new thing. But the losing out on getting free drugs, free skins, straight up skins, not the Skinner app, I think it's a pretty big hit, like, for me. But then again, the only thing I did in order to get those rewards was log in. So, I mean, like, it's hard for me to... I did so much to get those original login rewards. Like, I had to, like, log in,
turn the computer on,
and then log off immediately in order to get those rewards. I am interested to see what the new, like, special daily rewards will be. Like, when there's, like, an event that's going on, will they increase it and make it better for that time period? Are they going to bring that back at all? Is there going to be special login rewards? Are they going to just be regular login, kind of like we already have? So we'll see once we hit a special event, where they that they normally would give out a boost for. So, but yeah, I think we can skip over the so ship emphasis. What is this? More.
Well, yeah, you could just double click on it. So that's kind of
some minor things. Yeah, ship card view is kind of cool. I saw that. That'll give you a little bit more detail on your ships.
And I do like that the ship name is first. So as I show in the thing here. So if you're, in a thorax, it's thorax, and then the name of the ship. So like this one is like Bill. So, so you can. Again, it's nice if you know what ship you're looking for. I don't remember what I called it. That's kind of a nice setup, I think.
It looks nice. It's got a little bit more information. You can hover over it in order to get the ship layout and stuff like that instead of simulating ship. It's good. This is cool. Little good things here.
The Society of Conscious Thought ships are now in the ship tree, which is nice. I always thought it was stupid that
Yeah,
the
they weren't
gnosis and
there.
the practice aren't there. Like, well,
Yeah.
you know,
Just put them
yeah.
there. They're not. I mean, it's not that complicated. You need
No,
one skill.
it's just a pain in the ass. And they're ships that we use. So
What's the ship tree? The ship tree is if you go onto like the left-hand corner of the screen, there should be like a ship tree that you should. Let's see. I can show you here. So I'm gonna move this over, so it's gonna look fucked up a little bit. But let's do this. We go to. It's not activities. Is it utilities? Social
or ship.
Ship. That's it. Ship tree right here. Ship tree. And I know you can only see like the bottom half here, but it shows you each one of the ships, what what the upgrade is for the next, and what you can do for, masteries is basically how mastered are you in these things. So wait a minute, why? What is this? Expert system.
Oh, that's the thing. Like, you can, if you don't have it skilled in, you can.
Yeah, but I am skilled. Why is it suggesting?
Just offering. It just says that you can, I guess.
Stupid. Like, but what? Yeah. But it doesn't show me what my mastery is. I should be mastered in those. Whatever. Anyways. So yeah. So new overhaul on ship restriction windows. Only ships. Oh yeah. So this is with like different, like the small plex. Only accepts whatever, destroy.
I've run into this with some ratting stuff, especially if you're doing like a DED site. You're like, okay, well, I'm going to take in my jackdaw, and you fly it over there and go, oh no, it doesn't.
It doesn't accept that, but it accepts a battleship, for some reason.
Yeah.
So a little bit more information. Home front operations. So I believe that this is we're aiming to make some of these less popular sites more attractive. And acceleration gates within these sites will now have partially restricted when activated. Oh, this is interesting. So home front sites will now make it so that you go suspect if you go into somebody else's home site. So there's PvP opportunities in high sec that you don't have to force. You just become suspect. So the person doesn't have to attack you. Police don't attack you, but you are attackable if you try an incursion into somebody's already being run home front site. So kind of cool. There's some payout reworks that they've done. A little bit of messing. I've never done anything with home fronts though. I like the idea. I've heard that the multi-boxing is bitch fest. Fucking cry me a goddamn river. Everybody fucking hates multi-boxing. But I mean, they're paying. Like, there's not a bunch of alpha accounts. These are paid accounts. So, and if you can handle 50, I can't do fucking 2. I can haul and PvP, and the hauling doesn't happen well on PvP. Like, I can't. I have a buddy who does dual logi, and I'm just like, I love you. You're one of the greatest people on earth. Like, that's like my bar for like how cool you are with multi-boxing is basically you use 2 accounts at the same time. I'm impressed, and I've been playing this game for a long year. Now there are people who use like 30 accounts. Not saying I'm just super impressed with those people.
As long as you're flying the same ships,
would not do
the same way. Yeah.
If I had $1 billion and all I had to do was play Eve, I would still not multi-box because my brain just does not want to work in that fashion. Like,
take some of the fun out of it. Yeah.
It's not just the fun. My brain just is like, I'd rather be watching. Like, it's too much super concentration on one crazy thing that's going on. Like,
I can do 3 ships the same, or as long as they're set up the same, I can fly 3 ships. But anything more than that, and I'm on what is that, Eve 0 preview, or you can switch back and forth. I've tried to do 4, and it's hard.
Yeah, Park said
my brain melts.
Multi-boxing makes Eve a job, and I feel like
Yeah.
there's multiple things that make Eve a job, and multi-boxing is one of them.
Mhm.
And it just is not the way that I want to play the game. If ISK per hour was all that mattered, but really, ISK, you know how to make a lot of ISK per hour? Get a job that gives you over $15 an hour, which in this day and age, due to inflation, not that big of a problem. You're literally making what, if you have $15 an hour, if you have like a $15 an hour job, you are making 2.5 billion ISK to go to work if you spend that on the thing. And if you're making 60 or 100 or $200 an hour, which, depending on who you are in the world, like literally, like it's very hard to make. Even minimum wage gets you what, like a billion ISK an hour, which one activity in Eve gets you a billion ISK an hour. You might as well not play the game, go do some work, and then come back and pay ISK, and you just boom. Because the activities to make money in Eve is not like, oh my god, these are like so fun. This is what I want to do with my time.
Yeah.
Ishtar rat, But there are some passive, Ishtar ratting you can watch a movie with and stuff like that. But then if you multi-box it, it's more blah, 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 blah. So, anyways, moving on. Paragon missions. There's an additional thing that they're giving for that. I don't really care if that's more store incursions are having some
the
motherships
takes
are
longer.
a little bit longer. Observation flashpoints. There's some changes. C5s and C6. So I've heard a lot of bitching about this. Any escalation wave, including the Tyrannos, will despawn if capital ships leave the site. And stays further than 100 kilometers from the site warping. Lance Dreads will now also access this special gameplay. I don't do wormholes. I don't really give a fuck about C5 to C6. No. But I heard there is a little bit of bitching about this. So we'll see.
Yeah. Rogue analysis beacon. Yeah. Okay. These are just the LP stores. This is kind of interesting. So I wasn't sure what this removes all ship hauls from LP stores.
Yeah, so you can't get the ship haul directly now. You're only going to be able to get the blueprint, which I'm fine with, because blueprints, it gets you, like, for the first time since the conversion over to the frontline system and blueprints becoming really cheap, is the first time that I started using blueprints, and I'm like, oh, okay, there's a game mechanic here that's kind of interesting. I have to gather up minerals and stuff like that, find ways of either hauling them in or buying them off the market or setting up buy orders. So I found that kind of cool. There is some people that are bitching about, like, that they use this very exclusively for, like, I know pirates use it for a certain degree. SOE LP store is also a really big one. Getting like the Astero was easier to do it through the getting a ship and a item. Now, and that's also going to kill some of these Galente or Caldari or whatever, these like data chips or whatever that you have to have in order to get the item. So the economy is going to drop on that. So we know that there's some changes coming to the pirate hull. Added new manufacturing components for each pirate faction for subcapitals. T2 guns have had a little bit of a reduction on the amount of capital manufacturing robotics that are needing, and more fight. You can get an Astro like every 3 to 4 hours. Oh, that's not bad. Or an Astero. An Astro. An Astro. Oh, an Astero. Alright, so, and I think that's it right there. We have, like, we're basically at 2 hours into the show. We spent like the first hour just lamenting about how awesome faction warfare is currently.
And how great we are.
Yeah, so how badass the Galente are, just taking system after system after system. But yeah, things are looking really good right now. I'm liking the new patch, that's coming out. The new expansion looks really good. It's a really big boost to 0.0. I'm hoping for more of a boost in the next expansion at the end of the year here. But yeah, this is the good little changes here and there. I think I'm not crying really over any of this.
No.
Personally,
No,
all
I think
good
it's
from me.
all good. Yeah.
I see why some people are gonna cry and whine. I'm also like adapter fucking die, which is Eve's fucking motto. It's just so much you hear it. It doesn't matter. Every side says it, and I feel like I try to say it every fucking time. Adapt or die. Change shit. Shit's changing in Eve. Deal with it. Like that's the
Yeah, it
best
has
you can
to.
do. Bitch and whine and moan all you want. The best thing to do is work with a CMS or work with CCP in some way. Create very constructive posts on Reddit. Really get your ideas out there. But in the end, you can't just expect that that's going to fix the game. You just got to deal with the game that exists. And first, deal with the game that exists and find out how to fix your playstyle if possible, or quit the fucking game, or, a new playstyle pops up, so get new people into the game, or whatever. Just deal with it the way that it is, and then try and change it in the future through the many avenues of change that we have in this game, comparatively to World of Warcraft or any of other fucking game that exists out there. Like, you have a much stronger player influence. And the carrier shit coming out of left field, I feel like, was player induced. I feel like the players bitching, like, if the players hadn't been on Reddit every fucking day saying, like, these are the ways to fix carriers, we wouldn't have had. And it feels like a lot of that shit came out of the player discussions. I could be wrong. I don't know what's happening in the internals of CCP, but I feel like that's a big part. CMS and player voice interaction with CCP about different aspects of this game is like no other. You're not going to get that from anywhere else. So awesome. Well, I think we'll go ahead and wrap things on up here. Anything else that you want to talk about before we wrap it on up here?
No, I think we hit all the highlights. We got everything that I wrote down. So, CCP has been, trying to preach and push forward their motto of risk versus reward, and that's what they are trying to do. They want to create conflict, but they want to give people a reason to fight, and they're trying to create resources that people can fight over. So, the big bot guys have been talking about this for years, is that they want Titan fights, but they aren't going to undock their Titans if they can't replace them in a reasonable, manner. So these changes that I see kind of make me think that is exactly what CCP is trying to do. And so, again, I'm going to look at it as a positive thing for those people who want to play nullsec and they do their big block gaming. So thank you, CCP.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and take a little bit of a break here. But we're going to come back and do a little PvP. I know that I'll be out and about. I don't know, Night Flyer, if you've got some time to try.
I gotta check in with the family. My wife just poked her head in a little bit ago, and I gotta.
It has been 2 hours.
See what that's all about. So.
All right, cool. Well, I might do some solo PvP then, and thank you all for watching. Thank you for coming on to the show, Night Flyer here.
Absolutely.
And, have a great day, everyone, and thank you all so much.
Yeah. Good night, everybody.